Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lau, and this is something unique in itself. It's a segment that I do on my personal channel called Rants Rambles, where I just sit down in front of the camera. I'm sitting on the floor right now because it's like 1 in the morning. I got home from work. I'm tired as hell. And so, yeah, I'm just sitting on the floor and I'm just going to say some things off the top of my head. First of all, I need to let you know, as of right now, there is no reason why I shouldn't be able to do WNBA Weekly all year long, sorry. So it should be as scheduled, I believe. We're gonna do the same thing we always do in May, in the 12 days leading up to Game 1, which is it? Let me double check to be sure, but I believe it's the 18th, which would mean that, what's 18 minus 12? 6. Which would mean that starting May 6th, I would upload a video a day covering, doing the, I haven't been on here so long, I forgot my own shit. This is what Rants and Rambles is. It's it's completely unscripted. But yeah, as of right now, everything's going to return as scheduled. May 6th, I believe, will be the first episode of the preseason power rankings. I think that's right. And then the rest of the things. And then, of course, every Monday, WNBA Weekly. Just recapping all the things that have happened, all the things that will happen. I will actually upload the first WNBA Weekly the Friday morning of the 18th, I think it is. Once again, let me double check my facts. I'm sure it's the 18th. I could probably get up and go check now, but I'm not wearing any pants. And y'all don't need to see that, and I don't feel like editing this video. So, if the date is different, I'll put it in the description when I upload this. But I believe it debuts either the 18th, the 19th, or the 20th. One of those either. The Friday before the season starts, I'll upload the first episode of WNBA Weekly. And then after that, every Monday, we'll do an episode. And I'm going to take some time to just, first of all, tell you why I said I wouldn't, or that I might not. And if you subscribe to my personal channel, you can probably skip ahead to the last 5 minutes of this, probably. And if you don't subscribe to what did I say? Either way, if you don't want to hear about my personal life, you can just skip shit. But one of the reasons I said last year that I wasn't sure if I would come back to cover in 2018 was that I went through a huge bout of depression, and I was suicidal for about 3 months, and it was mostly over by the time the WNBA season started. Not entirely, but like the worst of it had kind of passed. I was going through a lot of shit. Losing some friends and whatnot, not to like death or anything, just to life, because life sucks sometimes and things go wrong. And so yeah, I had a severe bout of depression followed by a short period where I was examining my life and trying to figure out how to find some sense of meaning. And so one of the things I almost did, I looked into different things with like adoption and foster care, not because I was looking to get a kid, but I was looking to start, like, who knows, maybe volunteering if possible, or at least donating. And so yeah, I am donating to Texas foster care. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just saying that because, I may not have much in life, but there are people who have much less and who need some help. So I'm donating a small bit every month. It adds up to a few hundred every year. I'm just giving, a portion of all my paychecks. If it makes any difference at all, I'm hoping. You're told that every dollar counts. So I hope that then that's not lip service to get you to feel bad. I hope that I really do makes at least some sort of a difference. And also, I legitimately considered getting my body covered like shoulder to toe in tattoos. Because of my job right now, like, I can't get neck and face tattoos, and even if I could, I might not want them. But like, I actually did go to some different tattoo parlors just to talk to people about some of the designs I had in mind, look at time frames and prices. And so I came really this close to just emptying out my entire bank account and just getting my whole body covered in tattoos. Then I stopped and I thought about it. There's, like I said, a couple other things that happened. Long story short, had a crush on a girl, wrote some songs about her. And I think I've written like 4 songs in the past 5 years. So then in 2017, I wrote like 3 songs in 1 month. I'd forgotten how good that felt. To just sit there and write shit. And just write out your feelings. It's very, I'm trying to figure the right word. It's therapeutic. That's not the word I was thinking of, but it is. It's very therapeutic, at least for me. And I was able to just go through what I suddenly felt that surge of inspiration. I started rewriting all my stories. Anyways, right now I'm in the middle of starting my own business. And actually earlier this week I applied for some copyrights for my first comic book series, which best case scenario will be put out in October. Best case scenario, Halloween release. I don't know. You don't know what the future brings. I might not sell anything till 2019, which the government might be suspicious of when I report on my taxes. You spent how many $1,000 and you got nothing back? Are you sure you started a legitimate business? I mean, you can say you donated to charity, but no. So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work, but. Yeah, anyways, hopefully the IRS doesn't get too weird about me, because honestly, I've got 3 employees that I'm paying to draw for me because I have no actual ability when it comes to art. I'm a word guy. I'm a word. I'm a written words, spoken not as much. So I'm doing that. I just finished the rough draft of my autobiography, covering the first 27 years of my life. Dear God, I'm going to turn 28 when the WNBA season begins. It's weird. Honestly, it's a weird experience telling the story of your life. I suggest it to anyone who's willing to. Just, you don't even have to write it out. Just tell someone that's the story of your life if they're willing to sit there for 6 hours and listen to you ramble. It's interesting the things that stick out to you. You find out things that you thought were the most important thing ever at the time end up meaning nothing to you 10 years later. And things that you didn't give a second thought, they stand out so much. And I find myself regretting a lot of the people that I didn't keep in touch with in my life. But anyways, so yeah, I've got 1 comic book that's in progress. I've got the autobiography, rough draft complete. It's gonna go through a couple of edits before it's ready to show the world. But long story short, my summer should be relatively relaxing compared to winter and spring. It's not been fun. But yeah, I should be able to 100% return for the entire duration of the WNBA season. And that should end in September before we have to start worrying about, releasing all this other stuff. So I should be able to cover the entire regular season and probably the entire playoffs. And then I'll be able to go back to, winter's here. Let's start getting all this shit published and sending it out to the world. So, for those of you who actually watched this entire video, thank you. It means a lot that you actually give a damn about my personal life. And in that case, go subscribe to my personal channel, Nathan Nile Official. And if you just skipped to this point in the video, well, let's talk about the WNBA for a little bit. Free agency has been amazing. The power rankings is basically complete. There are still a few things I want to see. I don't know all the information. I've been focusing on my autobiography this whole past month, especially just trying to get the thing done because I was tired of it. It's very frustrating to spend 6 months working on the one project and only one project, trying to force it out. Which I know there are some people that will spend years working on a book, but for me, I've never done that. I usually spend a few. I know I went off track, but yeah, I'm used to spending like a few days, maybe a few weeks at a time, but never 6 months just working on one project and not even being allowed to look at these other ones. Anyways, back to the WNBA. I'm not entirely caught up right at this moment. By the time we get to the power rankings, I'll be 100% caught up. And some of this information will have changed. But for the moment, you see teams that were at the top of the heap, like the Lynx and the Sparks, that they keep getting stronger, adding more pieces. I think Danielle Robinson and Tanisha Wright, those are amazing additions, really shoring up the depth. Cappie Pondexter to LA, that should be good. I feel like you got the two best teams getting even stronger, looking like they might be able to get back to the finals again, face each other. But you've also got a couple of other contenders, because right now my top four teams are those two, plus the Sun and the Wings. And I said this last year with the Sun. If Chennai comes back, there's no accounting for chemistry. You can't guarantee it'll all fit in that well. But if everything gels like it should, this is a team that's improved by leaps and bounds every year. So not only could they finish top 3, but potentially, if they're 100% healthy, they could finish number 1 seed. And then you add the Dallas Wings, bringing back Liz Cambage. I've said it before. The last time I saw her play, there was like a 1-month period where she looked like a legitimate MVP candidate. And now you've got, a consistent double-double machining Lori Johnson, potential MVP candidates in Skylar Diggins and Liz Cambage. You've got a big 3 to build around. It's going to be hard for teams to compete against all 3 of those. And I'm really looking forward to the battles, especially Cambage versus Griner. Griner has more dunks in her career than any other player in WNBA history. There's Cambage, that you might remember, the only woman to ever dunk in the Olympics. So I definitely looking forward to seeing those head-to-head matches, and of course seeing how she matches up against the beast like Fowles and Charles. I think that's why they brought her here. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Cambage come back, because I know she's capable of averaging like 28 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game. She is very capable of doing that. I don't know if they're going to rely on her that much, especially right out of the gate. When you've already got a system established with like Skylar Diggins, Aerial Powers, they've got a lot of strong guard play that they have relied on. So they might not be a post-heavy team, but I think her presence is defensively, and especially with the rebounds, it's definitely going to help. And so, those are for me right now my top 4 teams. Like I said, it might change. I should be honest that I haven't paid anywhere near as much attention to college basketball this year as I should. Like I said, been getting getting a business started, so there's little to no chance that the draft will actually affect my standings, just because I don't know who these players are that are coming in this year. Other than some of the huge names that oh yeah, I've known this player for a few years. I know who Rebecca Greenwell is. I know Aja Wilson. Is that who it is? Or is it the other one? Because I know there was one from Carolina that went to Chicago last year. And then the other South Carolina one that's been doing it this year, that's projected to go number 1. And technically, what's her name? Azare Stevens from Connecticut. She's been coming off the bench for every game that I've seen. And I think she's technically eligible, but she might stay another year and then end up being the number 1 draft pick in 2019. So there's still a lot that I don't know. So I've got some catching up to do. But yeah, the draft it's coming up soon in April. If you're able to watch it, watch it. I'll more than likely be at work, but who knows? Because I know last year I was supposed to be at work, but then they called and told me I didn't have to go in, so I got to see it. Hopefully that'll happen again this time. I could request days off, but honestly, I just don't trust people to do my job. I just don't. It's a whole thing. I've gotten so many videos about that on my channel. I have trust issues. But anyways, yeah, WNBA is returning back. Sorry for the long video. I know most of you probably aren't going to watch this entire thing. I also wanted to talk about free agency a little bit more. Can anyone tell me what's going on with Tina Charles? Because I know I looked at the list of players that have re-signing and whatnot. And first of all, the Aces, you can definitely see what they're trying to do. A lot of veterans heading over there. Atlanta keeps looking stronger. I think Phoenix has gotten a little bit better with some of their additions. But I don't know what's going on with Indiana. Are they just like selling the farm and starting from scratch? Who knows? I know, but the thing I want to know is, like, can someone just tell me what's happening with Tina? Is it as simple, because I see she hasn't signed, is she going to rest the season, or is it as simple as, oh, she's just too busy overseas, she hasn't had time to negotiate her contract, but there's nothing else there to it? Like, I don't know. That's the only thing that I'm curious about, like, why hasn't she signed? Because if she doesn't come back for any reason at all, New York automatically, to me, drops to 12th place. Like, no offense to, like, Epiphany Prince and all them, but Tina Charles, like, I feel like she could have easily been the MVP the last 3 seasons in a row. Anyways, so yeah, I have been paying some attention, not as much as I need to, but I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna try to get as caught up as I possibly can. I've got a month and a half to try and learn all these names and figure all this stuff out. So sorry about I'm raving like a lunatic right now. But I wanted to put a video on this channel to let you guys know, WNBA 2018, there will be full coverage. Unlike my legs right now, which are completely uncovered. I'm not drunk, I swear. I'm just tired from a long night. Like I said, it's 1 in the morning. God damn, it's 1:20 in the morning. This video is way too long, so I'm going to cut it out. So, I can't guarantee whether or not I'll do another video before then. But definitely, beginning of May, power rankings. The first day of the first Friday of the regular season, you will get your first episode of WNBA Weekly. And for the rest of the year after that, every single Monday, WNBA Weekly. It'll probably be around 10 minutes. We'll try to keep it under 15 if we can. We'll see. It just depends on how much is happening that week. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the season. It's going to be a fun one. I am going to be a full participant as always. So thank you to those who stick around, especially those who for some reason were actually willing to sit through this entire video. I would send you some money, but I'm not going to do that because I'm spending twice as much money as I make right now. My bank account is getting smaller and smaller every time I look at it. So, but yeah, definitely looking forward to May. Not just because the season starts like near my birthday, either the day before or the day after. I have to double check a lot of dates. But yeah, looking forward to doing this another year. I hope you look forward to watching me do this another year. So until the next time you see my face in a video, I am Nathan Lyle. This has been the Fan Perspective. Hope you have a great month.